Hi boys and girls, welcome to Kindergarten with Mrs. R. Today we're going to be working in our Backpack Bear Reading and Writing Workbook. So go ahead and grab your workbook if you don't have it. You're going to need that and a pencil. And we're going to go ahead and turn to page, let's see here, I believe we're on page 44. 44 is a 4 and a 4. And you can see it down here in the corner of the page what that looks like, a 4 and a 4. Okay, so today we're going to be working with punctuation. So there are different kinds of punctuation that we can use, and you are familiar with some of them. If you look up here at the top of the page, what is that punctuation mark called? It's a period, isn't it? We've used a period a lot, and a period tells the reader that that's the end of someone's thought, to stop, okay? So that's the punctuation mark we'll use most often. But sometimes we'll be asking a question. For example, what time do you go to bed? Is a question. And so at the end of a question, we would use a question mark. So it has the squiggly line with a dot at the bottom. So that's a question mark. And sometimes when we're reading or writing too, we want to say something with lots of enthusiasm and we're excited about it, like, I love having birthday parties, and you're really excited about it, and you want to let everyone know the excitement in your voice, you will use something called an exclamation mark. And an exclamation mark is like a number 1 with a dot on the bottom, okay? There's also another kind of punctuation that we can use, and they're called quotation marks. Quotation marks are when someone is speaking and we want to show you exactly what they're saying. So whatever they say, for example, the boy said, I like chocolate milk. So the words I like chocolate milk would be in quotation marks because those are the words he said. So we're going to be working with these 4 different kinds of punctuation: a period, a question mark, an exclamation mark, and quotation marks today. So go ahead and grab a pencil and let's go ahead and get started. So let's look at our first sentence here. And this is a picture of a tin man. And it looks like he's sitting. He's fishing. So the first thing we need to do is they want us to trace the T. So go ahead and do that now. Trace that letter T. Let me make this bigger so you can see it. All right, let's go ahead and read sentence number 1. So these are 2 new words, tin man, and that's a name. So that's why the word man, the first letter is capitalized, okay? So if it's someone's name, we always capitalize the first letter. All right, let's try reading it together. Get your pointer finger and get your eyes on the word, and let's give it a try. Tin man, sat, and sat. Now let's read it again a little faster. Here we go. Tin man sat and sat. Now we're just making a statement. We're not asking a question, and we don't need to say it in an excited voice. And nobody is, we're not quoting somebody, nobody's saying something, we're just making a statement. So at the end of the sentence, we would put a period. And like I said, most sentences need a period. And that's going to be the one you're going to use the most. So everywhere you see a bubble on this page means they want us to add some kind of punctuation, okay? So let's go to sentence number 2. They want us to capitalize the first letter of the first word in the sentence. Let's go ahead and read it. Here we go. He said, now someone's talking, so then we're gonna have to add quotation marks. He said, I want to get a fish. Now let's read it a little faster. He said, I want to get a fish. Now, these little bubbles above here mean we need to add quotation marks. So quotation marks look like little C's right next to each other. The first set are facing the way you would write a normal letter C. The second set are facing backwards. Now, this little bubble here tells us that we need to add another punctuation mark. We have not added a period, question mark, or an exclamation mark at the end. And our sentence needs one of those three to be finished. So it's not a question. And it doesn't seem like we need an exclamation mark. We're not reading it or saying it in an exciting way or trying to raise our voice. So we're going to go ahead and put a period at the end, okay? Let's go down to number 3. And again, we're gonna trace the first letter of the first word and make it a capital, because we always capitalize the first letter of the first word in the sentence, okay? So let's take a look at the picture, and then we've got a little fish down here and we've got some bubbles we need to fill in. And let's go ahead and try and read this. Ready? The fish said, "Tin Man cannot get me." Let's read it again. The fish said, "Tin Man cannot get me." So maybe he's saying that in an excited way, like kind of teasing him. So the fish said, now the fish is talking, okay? When you see the word said, that's gonna tell you someone's about to say something. So we're gonna put some quotation marks on those words that the fish is saying. And then we're gonna put an exclamation mark here because the fish is excited. The fish said, "Tin Man cannot get me." Okay, and when you put an exclamation mark there, it tells us that you changed your voice and you're saying it like you're excited, okay? All right, last sentence. We're gonna trace that D and make that a capital D because it's the first word in the sentence. It always starts with a capital. All right, well, let's go ahead and try and read it. Did Tin Man get the fish? Did Tin Man get the fish? So you can hear that it's asking a question. So with a question, at the end of a sentence, we add a question mark because we're asking a question. We're asking somebody something and we're expecting them to answer us. So let's read it again. Listen to how I say the sentence. When you see a question mark, you have to say the sentence in a certain way. So listen carefully, here we go. Did Tin Man get the fish? And it sounds like I'm asking a question, right? So I'm expecting an answer. So when you hear someone asking a question, you're gonna put a question mark at the end of the sentence. All right, so now we're gonna go from our punctuation marks with our period, question mark, exclamation mark, and quotation marks. And now we're going to practice on the next page, page 45, some high frequency words. So let's take a look at the words we have here. We've got in our word bank up here, word bank is a box where they put special words. And up here at the top, it says high frequency words. But we also call those sight words. All right, so let's take a look. The first word is the word no. Second word, down. Third word, we. And the last word, come. Now I see a couple things that give away some hints. Right here I see a capital N. That tells me that this word's probably at the beginning of a sentence. Because remember that rule about at the beginning of the sentence, you capitalize the first letter of the first word? So that's a little hint there. And also over here in the word we, I see that this is capitalized as well. So that tells me that probably is the beginning of one of these sentences as well, okay, because it's capitalized. So let's take a look at our sentences here. Let's see, we need a word with a tall letter at the beginning, and all these are going to be tall because at the beginning, there's always a capital and a short letter. Something, Tin Man did not get the fish. So our choices are no, down, we, and come. So if we put no in here, no, Tin Man did not get the fish. Does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. So let's go ahead and write no. And I'll cross this off because we've used the word now. No. And this comma means to take a quick little pause in your reading. No, Tin Man did not get the fish. Okay. Let's go to our next sentence here. Let's see. We know that it's going to have to be capitalized at the beginning. And I guess this is one big sentence because the period's down here. So what happens when, boys and girls, when you're reading, sometimes you run out of space on a line to finish your thought in your sentence. So sometimes the words will continue on to the next line. And you continue reading until you see a punctuation mark, which of course here, in this case, is a period. So that tells us that's the end of this very long sentence. So let's take a look and see what we have here. We know that at the beginning of the sentence, we have to have a capital. And so I can see right here, this is the only word, the word we, that has a capital at the beginning. So that's a hint that that's going to be at the beginning of our sentence. So let's read what we have so far. We have blank to help him get blank. So let's see here. We have, okay, now I'm looking at these 4 boxes. This means that there's 4 short letters. And these boxes down here, there's the first one's a tall and then 3 short. So if we look at the word down, that's a tall, short, short, short. And then over here at the word come, short, 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 short. So guess what? I bet the word come goes in this box here because these are all short letters. Let's read and see if it makes sense. We have come to help him get something. We have come to help him get, what's this word? Tall, short, short, short. That's the word down. We have come to help him get down. That makes sense, doesn't it? So now we figured out the clues because we used some clues that we had here, what we know about capital letters at beginning of sentences, so that helped us there. And then we looked at some clues on tall and short letters and how they would fit in these boxes. And then we looked at the words and decided, if we were to have a tall letter in the first letter of a word, we knew that it couldn't be this word come because those are all short letters. But over here in the word down, the first letter was tall, right? So that makes sense. Okay, let's read these sentences again. Ready? Let's give it a try. No, Tin Man did not get the fish. We have come to help him get down. And then you can see in this picture here, he didn't catch the fish, and it looks like the fish fell down, didn't it? Yeah. All right, so good job, everybody, of working with high frequency words today and filling them in this little puzzle, figuring out what this said, and we read some words, and we also worked with punctuation, the period, question mark, exclamation mark, and quotation marks, which are kind of tricky. But the more times that we see them in our books and the more times we practice reading them, the easier it's going to get. So great job, everybody, working hard in your workbook today. And so until we meet again, I wish you all a great day, and I will see you all very soon.